Hi guys, so today I'm at the North Carolina coast on the Pamlico River. I am checking out ActiveTrack for the first time in a vehicle. I've done it a couple times on an open soccer field. I was just walking around just to try to see how things operate, but this will be the first time doing this from a vehicle, so I just want to see how well it works. There are some trees around. I've seen that it's fairly easy to do in the wide open spaces, you know, in a just a big open field, but I do have trees here, as you can see, kind of in the background. But it's remote enough that it shouldn't be a problem. So it's just a gravel driveway that I have here, or a gravel road. So I'm gonna fly above the trees and see how long and how well this Mavic Pro tracks using ActiveTrack, and then I'll maybe try, if I have time, to do one of the kind where it rotates around, and then maybe check out the spotlight mode if I can. But anyway, let's go get set up. Alright, so I've highlighted the truck, and we're just going to drive down the road here. I can raise the altitude a tad. Used to be tracking pretty well. I'm only going 10 or 15 miles an hour. Kind of a cool mode if you could, if you were using this for surveying or something like that. I mean, you could actually a car coming way off in the distance, so I'm going to get to the end of this road, do a turnaround. I'm pretty much on an isolated road. Sorry about the bumps. And the tailgate is still down. Another car approaching, so let's see what happens when I actually do the turnaround. Alright. Right on me. Here's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to do a rotation. Priority. All right, so so now I'm going around the truck from a top, kind of like the point of interest type thing. But that's pretty cool. It gives a nice little side profile. I'll slow down because the speed at which it turns around, like in a point of interest around the car, is 18 miles an hour. That's pretty neat. behind me, it kind of struggles, not struggles, but it just takes a lot longer to make that circumference all the way around. Might lose me in the trees here. I'm about to hit some trees. And yes. All right. Spotlight. Okay, so what are my impressions on the Active Track? I think the Active Track works really well when the Mavic Pro is tracing or profiling or following an individual, a person, and you're in close proximity to that person. And close, I mean like 50 feet off the ground. If it's higher than that, it's probably just not that interesting. But for following a vehicle, I mean, unless you're in a wide open space at the top of a hill and it's very flat, I just don't see how much use you're going to get out of it. As you can see here, it's very flat here. There's no elevation change, but there's really large trees. And even on this road, it was a very straight road, but you have really tall trees. And so the second, unless the Mavic is looking straight down on you and has you in the sights the entire time, then that works. But that's not that interesting of a shot. So then I try to do a orbit type rotation. But as you do the rotation around the truck, then you have the trees sticking up, and so as soon as you pass one of those trees behind one of those trees, it loses the active track, and then it just kind of stalls and sits there. Great technology, just probably not the best thing, you know, in a vehicle. Now, if you do have somebody else driving, I think it would be really cool just to be able to fly it by yourself and have somebody else drive, because then you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You know, it's still kind of cool to go behind a tree and not necessarily see the truck in every single frame of the shot, because that's not that exciting of a clip. But if you're kind of doing a profile, like on this canal here, I could do a profile and have somebody else drive. Big tree comes by, and the Mavic is behind the tree, and then the car reappears. So what else? It's easy to set up. I'm just not sure how much use you would get out of it, but if you're following a person, you know, like watching your kids play soccer or something like that, like watching them practice, or just on a ball field, something like that. That would be, you know, kind of interesting for family type usage. So anyway, that's about it for Active Track. I just wanted to mess around with it. Never really got the opportunity to try it with a car. You know, you see these commercials where it's all these epic videos, and I think in practice that's far and few between, unless you're really set up for that, which I'm not. I'm just a one man crew here, so I'll see if I can get my wife involved with driving the truck next time, and then I'll try to maybe fly from the passenger seat, as they say. But anyway, good flight nonetheless, and no crashes, which is always a bonus. And that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed.